Why is targeting so difficult to be officiated consistently across the board, conference to conference, game to game, Mike Pereira?
Well, I mean, I think that may be one of the best questions you've ever asked because it isn't consistent conference by conference, and really it's hard because there is a gray area, and anything that has a gray area becomes difficult because it heads into that area of judgment. And targeting started out more black and white than it is now because it was just lower your head and hit with the crown being defined as anything above the face mask, 360 degrees around the helmet. That was more black and white, but it was too punitive because you got players ejected when, the action really wasn't flagrant enough and sometimes wasn't even intentional. And so there was an uproar and there should have been, because you're taking young men and you're getting them thrown out of games. And if it's in the second half of a game, then he can't play in the first half of the next game. And I, for one, agreed that it was too punitive. And so really what they've done is kind of backed off a bit in a couple of ways. First, they said, okay, you have to confirm all elements of it. There has to be the attacking motion and or a launch to go along with helmet contact. And that was all good, and it helped to a degree. But now they've even gone a bit further, where they say, okay, now the crown, I know what the definition is. It's above the face mask. The face mask, just above the face mask, that's 300. I know what that is. But now they said, okay, let's make the crown, the tip, the top of the helmet, not the side, which used to be part of the crown. And so now they're almost really working to circumvent the rule to make there be less calls. And when you do that, then it's become more of a gray area type of call. And until we get a national body,
that's it,
which I think we're headed to get.
We are.
I do think we're headed to get that. We may see it as early as the CFP, the playoffs this year, where one body, a body of people who are so-called experts, will make all the decisions when it comes to targeting in all the playoff games. It won't be an ACC replay crew here. It won't be an SEC here. It won't be a Pac-12, of course, because they won't have a team in it. But, it's going to be,
wow.
I believe they'll do it this year. There'll be a national body somewhere located on the East Coast that will make all of the targeting decisions. And we may get to the point, Rich, where there'll be a central location that will work during the regular season of college football, at least in the Power 5 conferences, to make those decisions. And if you do that, then to me it will be more consistent.
No question about it. All right. So two things. First one, was that a dog I heard in the background, Mike? Is that
yes,
it
was.
Okay, please.
I'm up in Oregon.
No, that's okay. Please tell me your dog's name is Tuck. So anytime that you have...
No, this dog's name is not Tuck. I will tell you, this is my friend Roger Ruth and my producer that lives up here. And his first two doggies that he had up here
were Tuck and Rule. Was that what it was? No,
it was. Do you really want to know what their names were?
Dez and he caught it. That sort of thing, or okay,
Dez, he caught it.
What are the names of the dogs?
It was Sarah and Palin.
You could see Russia from their doghouse, is what you're saying.
Yes, you can.
Okay, very good. All right, and so the follow up here is like.
By the way, Sarah passed. Palin is still with us.
Okay, so. Well, I'm knocking on wood for Palin. So, who's in charge of this CFP? Are they really going to just start something new for the most important games of the season? Is that really?
They've experimented already.
Okay.
They did experiment. They experimented in maybe week 1, was it? I believe it was not week 0. It was actually week 1 of the college season. They experimented with a couple of different games with this replay center that they set up in Pittsburgh. And so they ran a test there to see how it would work. Now, you can't, think they won't be prepared, I don't think. And this is, by the way, it's not for sure, but it's a pretty strong possibility. But they won't be ready to handle like all the bowl games, but they might in the future. And possibly when you do that, then you think, okay, we go CFP playoffs, and then next year maybe we go all the bowl games, and the next year maybe the championship games of each of the conferences. I think it will kind of trickle down to effect where they'll be more involved. I think it's needed. I mean, and I think it's a wise idea, and the right people are involved. Steve Shaw, who is the basically the national coordinator of officiating for NCAA football. Dean Blandino has had a hand in it because he does also work with the NCAA in replay, and he was on site in Pittsburgh. So I think it's a step that needs to be taken because there just is too much inconsistency. And I mean, I thought I had it down. This year I don't in targeting. I don't have it down. I think I knew targeting, when I saw targeting. And this year I don't know targeting when I see targeting, what I think is targeting. So it's kind of gotten, as I said, back a little more gray. But the powers to be recognize it, and I do think we'll see a marked improvement as early as the CFP this year.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.